And in the upper right of Concealed Hill, our red Night Elf from Brazil, it is PaTo. And in the bottom left, from America, our yellow orc, it is Hitman.
A legend returning in PaTo. Let's see if he's still getting nervous after all those years. Certainly the biggest competition that he's been in since his comeback. There were a couple of cups here and there, a couple of Brazilian tournaments. But yeah, Hitman is quite a grinder, we all know that. A million ladder games, and quite successful in other tournaments as well. Was representing the West in a match against China, actually. That was cool to see. But in the Americas, man, it's so hard to kick him off. Would you say that taking a map here would already be an upset?
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's what Hunter was able to do last time around. And, we're still talking about it to this day. So, if PaTo could take a map, or even, if he were to take a series, we'd be talking about that for years. So this is really the opportunity for PaTo to make maybe not a new name for himself, but to revitalize the old name that we know. And this is definitely a matchup that he could do it in. In recent times, most of the games, most of the maps and series that Hitman has lost has been against Night Elf players. It's been foggy, it's been colorful, it's been that map to Hunter. So it's definitely doable in this matchup against this opponent.
Also, he lost the series in Dust League to Alice. So
absolutely, yeah.
Alice, of course, he's a player who plays WGL as well, but he's not one of the top 4 or 5 Night Elves in the world. So this is a matchup that Hitman really, really hates and starts to play it more often, especially in the Dust League playoffs there. That wasn't too pretty for him. And I think PaTo, he's pretty solid with that, man. I mean, he can play hunts if he wants to. That has always been a thing for the America's Night Elves, especially South America's Night Elves. So he can play his old strats from like 14 years past.
Yeah, absolutely. It is almost sort of an old school style that we now see as the meta with the Huntresses, the more economic based game plans, I suppose. And it seems like PaTo for now is going to play more standard. I'm wondering if we're going to see talents throughout this series, if we're going to see lores, if we're going to see maybe something like a Demon Hunter second. But for now, it just looks like good old standard Keeper, Archer, Huntresses, although there's no hunts quite yet. And of course, it's just going to be pure standard from Hitman. It's going to be what we expect, what we always see.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's also so good with the Blade Master, then why move away from it? We've seen a Lin who's clearly an influence on Hitman. Go for Farseer here and there, map dependent obviously, mostly in best of 5s when the map pick and bans are not as narrow as it is in best of 3s. But yeah, I expect him to go Blade Master all the way.
For sure, and now we do find Hitman able to catch out one of those archers, and PaTo was going on the aggression with level 3 Keeper, going what seemed to be towards the tavern and toward Hitman's base, but we do have that Demon Hunter second, so this is looking like lures into maybe Dryad Bears. It could also be Mass Dryads, but typically you play that with maybe a different second hero than the Demon Hunter. So I like this from PaTo. I like that he's not just playing pure standard. He knows how experienced Hitman is against this. And he knows that he has even said publicly he struggles against the lore, struggles against the wins. So I like that already PaTo is mixing it up a little bit. And we'll see if he's able to do anything with this Keeper going aggressive across the map now with level 3.
Yeah, feels like he has to get something done. Also, Hitman, I don't want to say he's confused because it takes a lot to confuse Hitman, but he wants to make triple sure that he knows what he's up against. He spent so much time in the north waiting for PaTo at the tavern. There was nothing at the tavern, so let's go into the base. What's happening there? He sees, okay, there's something happening at the altar. Then I'm hanging around until you produce anything at the altar. The same goes for the tier 2 production buildings. He was double checking. Are you building another engine of war? Are you building a wind? Are you building a lore? Now he has full information and can play it from here.
Yeah, and that's just the strength of having that Staff of Teleportation early on the Blade Master. You can go aggressive, you can go into the base and look for lore cancels, look for wind cancels, and your Shadow Hunter is always safe because your Blade can staff back, and your Blade is always safe because, of course, he can staff away after being entangled. So it's just a really clean play from Hitman, but for PaTo, he's been able to delay the Shadow Hunter creeping a ton. Only 48 experience, that's the one Trapper that was left over at the Orange Camp earlier. And he's going to be able to maybe get some last hits here. Not on that small turtle, but Still, there's only... Okay, now there's 2 Shamans, but with the Treants, maybe all the Purge mana could be gone relatively soon.
Exactly. 2 Purges used already, dealing with the force of nature now, but this is still no creeping, and the big one at the merchant is already gone, so he has to clean up the green, has to go for the gold mine, and that is also more time for the Demon Hunter, while the Blade Master is putting quite some damage on that Lord. He has to cancel it last second, so while PaTo is able to delay the second hero, Hitman is able to delay the tier 2.
Yeah, this is a good play from both players, I'd have to say, because PaTo was doing a very good job of actively creeping up his Demon Hunter with the Ancient War moving over to the lab, but then, of course, if you're doing that, you cannot defend your lores. I think this all just comes down to, honestly, a poor base build from PaTo. He could have avoided this if his base was just blocked, if the lores were in the back. Maybe your shop gets canceled, but you know, this is rough. His tech is very far behind. He is going for the tier 3 for the eventual bears, but Hitman already going for his own tier 3 with that bestiary. And we saw this style against Hunter when he plays against Talons or Lores with a keeper first. He likes to go tier 3, likes to get sometimes a Tinker third, and even Burning Oil Demolishers, Neo. We might see him this game.
Ooh. Yeah, it was... Oh, Blade Master revealed! And that is a kill for PaTo, getting rid of the first hero here, punishing him for all the sins, for all the suffer in the base. And now he's on tier 3 and the Blade Master's off the map. Interesting situation where they find themselves in. PaTo's lore was quiet for a long time. He's floating in resources around 1,000. I wonder if he slipped a little in macro here. A depth upgrade only now while tier 3 is done. I feel like this is not 100% perfect play by PaTo, but so far Hitman with not the greatest of all leads.
Yeah, the Blade Master loss a little bit unexpected, but the staff was on cooldown. One thing PaTo could do as he snags that Claws of Attack plus 12 from the middle red camp, that's a nice pickup. He could just buy a Shredder and that would even out the lumber issues that he's having, but he's going immediately for Master Bear training. And he's not going to have a lot of lumber for a while, just because of all the cancels that have happened. It's not as though he's lost a lot of wisps, but just so many cancels. I think a Shredder with that lab being cleared would be the best next step for PaTo now that he has a little bit of freedom with the Blade Master being dead.
Yeah, I was about to ask you before we talked about the tier 3 of Hitman, is Grunt Shaman still the thing to do if your opponent is going for lores? And I think the answer is anonymously no. So what's next? Next is, as you said, tier 3. Kodos against bears are super mega good. We get Bloodlust and all the good upgrades that orcs get on tier 3.
For sure, yeah. Typically in one base against one base, Night Elf against Orc, you can just go tier 3. Both players go tier 3, and the Orc is happy to get all their nice Bloodlust upgrades, get that orb, sometimes get a Pit Lord third, or sometimes a Tinker third. And as long as you're even economy from Hitman's side of things, you're pretty happy. But PaTo's going to be looking to take a nice fight early on with level 3 Demon Hunter. If he's able to get this Ogre Magi, but it looks like, okay, he does secure it. That's a very important last hit for PaTo. The Blade Master did not steal it. And gets the level 3 Demon Hunter. He's got the bears. PaTo might be close to ready to fight, although Hitman's looking scary himself.
Yeah, PaTo close to 50, Hitman's close to 50, cleaning up that fountain now. Not that fast, actually. His anti-air, rather poor. But okay, we separate each other again. I thought, okay, there's storm brewing, but not yet, as PaTo's going for the bottom right-hand side for his own fountain. After getting the high ground in the middle, should give him an experience lead, as we get early Bat Riders by Hitman.
Very interesting. I can only imagine he's getting one single Bat Rider for Liquid Fire to do some, perhaps, gold mine harassment. This isn't something I've seen recently, at least, from any orcs, but maybe that's what it is. Some delay tactics from Hitman, perhaps. That can be, I mean, against Fairy Dragons, you sometimes would get Bat Riders, but okay, for now, Hitman going to continue to creep. He does have a town portal. PaTo going to look to go into the base and do some sort of damage, but the reinforced burrows is going to make this a little bit tricky. That's a fake teepee.
Dude, your call with the burning oil was pretty damn good. It's almost finished. We have a Demolisher up as well. Damage over time on the ground, of course, but very, very squishy if something's able to reach it, which is not that easy. And PaTo, being back in the scene for only 3 months, this is not something that he faced a lot.
Yeah, this is a very unorthodox strategy. If you have not seen how Hitman plays against this in the past, this is definitely not the usual response. But for now, PaTo, with the bears, the siege bears as you may call them, is going to be able to break one of the burrows. The wards are going to time and time again do a lot of damage if you stick in range of them. But for now, maybe PaTo can kill a couple burrows and get out of here.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Just delay everything that Hitman wants to do by killing a single burrow or two, which reinforced defenses is ready. Peons are in, but he doesn't want to take an open fight. Gotta be careful now to not getting perked, but the staff is ready in time. But now we got Bloodlust. We got a very, very scary Blade Master. Oh, Bear gets intercepted. That might be a big one. Trying to TP out. Burning Oil comes on top, and he's not able to bring that one home. Okay, I guess Hitman has to build another burrow, and that's almost finished. And then he's good.
Yeah, at the end of the day, a burrow for a bear definitely going to favor Hitman, but only slightly. And of course, there's a little bit of repair at both players' town portal. I don't think the Bat Rider got anything done so far, but he's definitely being very annoying.
Yeah, and guess what? Liquid fire is at 60%. This is something that Lin did against Undeads not too long ago. Wow, well, it was long. It was 1.5 years ago. But this is so annoying. Liquid fire makes it so you can't repair the buildings anymore. And that has to be dealt with.
Yeah, and it's not as though if you're playing Talons, you can just crow form one of the Talons and then the bat explodes. It's dealt with. But if you're going for lures, unless you build a wind, there's no real way to deal with the bat over the tree line. It's extremely difficult. So one arch is going to be left behind for PaTo to try and deal with it. But if he slips up for a second, uh-oh, your gold mine's dead. So that's kind of a rough position, but definitely, it's dealable for PaTo. It's not gonna win the game. It's just gonna be extremely annoying.
Yeah, it's not the easiest task for sure. 3 demolishers with the upgraded Kodo aura. When do you ever see 3 demolishers, especially in this matchup?
Yeah, that's a fun little army composition. Little bit weird to micro if you're not used to it. Oh, the Blade Master got out of position for a second there. Hitman's got to be careful to not lose that blade, or else we might just see the bears go across the map yet again. But for now, PaTo seems to be the one that's going to be banking, actually. He's going for an expansion. That's probably not going to come up against the triple demolishers that you just mentioned. But yeah, if PaTo's able to bank, Hitman's been broken upkeep for the entire game almost. As early as he could, he did break upkeep, but that's a big orc army, Neil.
It is 70 supply.
Yeah.
And what do you do with that? Like, Tinker is now in as well for even more siege capabilities. I don't see, like, how is he supposed to reach the demolishers? Force of Nature can try, but then there's Purge.
Generally, it would be Chimeras would be the best response. There's already the one Bat Rider, so you just need one more to kill a single Chimera. And of course, the Bat Rider is going to scout the Chimera Roost immediately, but that would generally be just the best response on paper, but it's difficult to do on one base. It's crazy. It seems like Hitman just has more gold. They've both crept relatively equally. PaTo, of course, invested in, the Tree of Life now, but it just seems like Hitman has been much more efficient this game, and it's led to a 20 supply lead, with PaTo only having a 700 gold bank.
Yeah, there's also only a 650, 700 gold lead due to upkeep. Always say, like, maybe upkeep is a little overrated at times, but PaTo... trying to build another tree in the middle, maybe. So far, it's just the Engine of War, who's not part of the defense. But yeah, I mean, Hitman has complete map control, but maybe a little bit lack of scouting, as he doesn't care about the upper left, and that expansion does come through.
Yeah, we'll get up, but towers are coming up now for Hitman, and of course, similar to Night Elf Mirror at times with the Glaive Throwers, these demolishers are going to force the Night Elf, going to force PaTo out of his base and force him to fight if those towers get up in range of the towers. So very crucial for PaTo to cancel these. You see the treants coming through, but there is going to be Purge immediately. Level 4 in the Blade, I can only imagine level 2 Mirror Image for some more frontline for Hitman. And this is going to be a very difficult fight. Look at the Burning Oil.
It actually does something, man. Who would have thought? One tower canceled. Love the shop in the back for Hitman. Super safe position. There's no way PaTo can cancel this, and then he can go for potions all the time, speed scrolls all the time, just get these wonderful, wonderful orc items. Hey, what now?
And more wards coming up, and this is the difficulty. You cannot push into here, but you can't just sit there because, again, the demolishers. So PaTo's got to make a move. His expansion is up, and it's soon to be mining. He did not forget to build Wisp for that. He's going in for the tower cancel. Mirror Image in the front. The Tinker gonna put down a Pocket Factory. The Kodo is hungry and trying to eat. He might be able to get a bear. There is so many orc units raining down on top of these bears right now, but PaTo's holding on at least for now, but it looks like a lot is about to fall for the Night Owl.
As long as the bears are up, there's still a little bit of a chance, but man, I think it's just a matter of time until Hitman is taking over. The Kodos had a nice dinner here, a big one. The Demolishers are the carry, and there's not a single point of damage on them. PaTo completely falling apart. He gets rid of that Tinker, okay, but the Keeper will fall, and he actually does. And I guess at this stage, we just have to wait for the GG.
Yeah, just a Demon Hunter left, and it is Superman, but it's not that super, and there's still the 4 Demolishers in the back. They're about to kill every single building. The towers are even up to boot, and Hitman shows why he likes this strategy. It seems to work very well in Game 1.
Hot Hitman. Cheeky smile on his face as well. Ricky, you were following this game with us. Your thoughts?
You know, I wasn't too unimpressed by PaTo. I think you know, he's got really good defense, but you know, realistically, historically, the Night Elf players that have given Hitman the tougher run have been the aggressive keepers, killing grunts, trying to bring the game to Hitman. And I think PaTo maybe gave that Shadow Hunter a little bit too much breathing room. Good thanks to the Blade Master. But it's usually the Night Elves that are playing more aggressive that end up keeping Hitman on his toes. And we didn't see that this game.
Oh man, this was really excellently played by Hitman. I really like that strat. I don't know how much scouting PaTo did prior to the match. Like, Carson, you were fully aware of this. You probably know every single timing of the strat, but it felt like PaTo was a little bit caught off guard.
Yeah, and I think he was a little caught off guard, made a couple of mistakes, notably with the base build. And, you know, I think it's a really good point from Ricky that he was super passive, and you cannot be passive against Hitman. You have to be, especially in this matchup, you have to be the proactive one. You have to be the one being aggressive, finding the timing, finding the early game advantage is crucial. You cannot just say, I'm going to creep my side, you're going to creep your side, because at the end of the day, Hitman's got better micro than almost everyone, you know, close to in the world, maybe at least in the Americas. He definitely has better micro than everyone, and he has the stronger army. He's got the Bloodlust, he's got the Demolishers. You cannot play that passive. You got to be more proactive.
All right, we see him here once again. Not doesn't seem too far thrown off, if I judge this right. Thinking about everything, of course, but doesn't seem devastated. And for Hitman, I guess, just a walk of the park, right? Everything as expected, everything as announced as well. All right, nobody wants to comment on it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, sorry, that was my cue, everyone. Yeah, no, I definitely think, I mean, he said, you know, prove me wrong at the end of the day, but I think, you know, Carson said it best, that early game is where the Night Elf is really going to thrive, and, you know, PaTo has recently come back, but he does understand the meta. We only get to see that demo build every once in a while, by the way. The straight lore giveaway, we'll do that for Hitman, so just small adjustments in the early game, I think, for PaTo. He's got to be more in his face.
All right, then let's see if Hitman can take the 2-0. Last time in summer, we were a little surprised as Hunter took a map. And the next one is Echo Owls. That is actually Hitman's map. PaTo was picking Concealed, and that didn't go too well, to be honest. But all right, second chance. Maybe the nerves look a little better now for him. But he didn't seem like shaky or anything. I think also the early game execution was kind of cool. Especially with the delay on the Shadow Hunter, but then the mid game didn't look too hot, to be honest. And let's see if that is fixable here on Echo Owls. Very different map, and we're loading into it. Let's go Hitman vs PaTo round 2. We have arrived. Carson in the red, upper left. For Brazil is PaTo, and Hitman ruining the Brazilian party in the upper right in the yellow.
Yeah, and he said we were going to be counting the units, and I mean, last game, I think it was, I mean, I don't know if a grunt fell. I think it might have only been the Tinker at the end of the game.
No, it was a Blade Master in the middle of the game.
Ah, true. Two heroes. So pretty good. I mean, we're not counting the units, but we are counting the hero kills, which is something Hitman's actually been messing up a lot recently. In Dust League, he was really slipping up his hero control. So is that the way in for PaTo? Can he get that early blade kill again? And can he leverage that into a bigger advantage than he did on Concealed Hill. That's going to be the opening, because that's a consistent mistake from Hitman recently, especially against Night Elf.
Maybe he's watching too many Fly replays.
Absolutely. I think he's a Lin fan, but maybe a few too many Fly replays for sure.
Well, we saw Foggy today, right? We know that Foggy is taking big inspiration from Moon, but today he picked the Law Light build and Law Light-esque execution. So maybe not only following Lin here, but also the other great, the WCG champion Fly, who we will see in the Asian region, finally competing again after he didn't qualify for WGL.
Yeah, and PaTo going for a slightly different build, more of a standard build this game. And Echo Isles is typically a good orc map. You can do easy creep routes in the early game. You can get level 2. You can get really nice items. Marketplace, of course, excellent for the Blade Master. We can even see that 12 o'clock consumable going to the Blade Master. So PaTo going to go for a more standard build. He, of course, went for that Hunter's Hall before that second Moonwell, so there's no risk of it getting canceled. Last game, he had no real issue getting level 3 Keeper. So if he can repeat that again, and then maybe try to get, some grunt kills off of it, maybe some peon kills, maybe, a Spirit Lodge cancel with the level 2 treant, something like that. That's what I like to see, because Hitman's giving a lot of space to the Keeper to creep.
He's taking the Ogre Magi, though. Biggest consumable on the map. The only consumable on the map, really. Taking quite some damage, but should be fine. PaTo is there, so this forces another Windwalk. Almost already there. And he didn't heal before going into Windwalk, so this Blade Master gets the last hit, then has to salve up. Or is just donating it away.
One more hit. Okay, he gets the salve and the Windwalk off there. He had the greater heal, so that would have been a big investment, almost as costly as a level 1 Blade Master. But an Entangle on the Grunt, there's no more mana after the treants were summoned from the trees, but the Blade Master gonna pressure the Keeper off, but the Grunt gonna at least take a salve's worth of damage, and that slows down the potential next creep camp for Hitman.
This looks a little like Micro Wars that we played with our Patreons yesterday.
A little bit. First to Windwalk loses if it's a Blade Master versus a Blade Master, but Hitman's gonna run away now. Gonna try to get the dust and of course the Staff of Teleportation. We saw it getting tons of value last game, so that's what he's gonna get. And PaTo was looking for the same, but gonna get neither for now.
He's getting blocked. Good damage by Hitman with basically nothing. A little bit the story of the series that the Blade Master is causing so much trouble that PaTo has to use a lot of effort, a lot of forces to just stop this Blade Master.
Yeah, and there's no expansion coming up yet. This is looking, as I said, like a more standard game from PaTo with those Huntresses now coming out, but no expansion. And Hitman is, even if there was one coming up, Hitman would go cancel it right now. Even an Ancient of Wonders, which, generally you would skip that if you're trying to invest into that Tree of Life. So is PaTo really going to play one base yet again? Could this be some sort of a tier 2 Ancient Protector rush? I'm wondering what it is, but Hitman's going to be aware there's no expansion now. But he is going to give the Keeper level 3 if PaTo's able to get one more camp, which is a big boon for PaTo.
Yeah, it's quite some evasion creeping here. Creeping at the bottom right. So Blade Master of Hitman is once again scouting. Very similar to CH as well. This also steals experience away on a very XP short map like Echo Isles. This might stop the Shadow Hunter early on.
Yeah, and it's kind of forcing Hitman to telegraph his Shadowhunter creeping. PaTo's going to know that the Shadowhunter is going to go to the Mercenary camp or the remainder of the Marketplace as soon as it comes out of the altar after maybe an initial green camp. So PaTo could go for a Creepjack early on with maybe that Alchemist at tier 2 if he gets level 3. He's going to be able to pressure that Shadowhunter yet again, only I hope for PaTo this time he's going to get some more damage done. Then, of course, he got a Blade Master kill, but get some Grunt kills, delay that Shadowhunter even further. And then we'll see what the tier 2 choice is. It's a Demon Hunter again.
Not too sure if I like that choice, to be honest. Like, what's the big upside compared to an Alchemist?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, in the late game, the Alchemist is really good too, right? It's really the Keeper that falls off, so you're already sort of committed to that. But, I mean, with the lores, with the mana burn, it can be good, but we kind of know what Hitman's response is going to be. He's going to have, of course, to scout it. First of all, Hitman, before he's able to react to it. So if PaTo can delay the potential for a scout, maybe that could be good. But yeah, if he had the Alchemist across the map right now, pressuring the Shadowhunter, that might be the best play, in my opinion.
He kind of pressured him already by taking out the gold mine, but He's also too far away from the Merc camp, so that's guaranteed level 2.6 in a bit. And then cripping the Murlocs is also not too hard with grunts. And in the meantime, the Blade Master gets level 2 by stealing green camps away, so Hitman is all over the place.
No lore cancels this time around, though. So that's maybe we'll get to see how the game plays out macro-wise for PaTo. And of course, there's no Shredder on this map, so lucky for him, he didn't take tons of lumber economy damage. So we're going to see how it plays when the bears are on time, the dryads are on time, the orbs are on time, and everything works out for PaTo. So we'll see if he can fight without getting his lords canceled. I don't even know how many times that happened last game. I don't know if you kept track.
No. It was a long day. I can't count anymore. But we got the war mill done, so it's just a matter of time, I guess, before we get more upgrades here. And PaTo, maybe the time is right, as the Murlocs are done, but the mercenary camp is not.
Yeah, and as I said, it's going to be a little bit telegraphed for the Shadowhunter, and PaTo's going to be aggressive without that Alchemist, but still going to be able to do it with the Demon Hunter, kills some of the wards. And yeah, the Shadowhunter slowed down quite a bit, at least from that level 3, and the Blade Master's still being very aggressive, but I doubt he's going to find much on PaTo's side of the map with that blade.
There's also 4 purges, I think, on this 2 Shaman already, so even Entangle isn't as powerful anymore. Get some more map control, which is nice with the owls, or at least information, so you can always poke in and delay it by some seconds. But his tier 3 didn't even start, so I don't see bears coming. And only dryads? I don't know.
Yeah, dryads are normally very all in, but maybe PaTo can get some kills here. I mean, you may not be able to get the Entangle because of all the purge, but you can definitely slow with the dryads and get a couple of grunt kills. Nicely focusing down the serpent wards as fast as he can. Speed scroll away on that one grunt. Might be able to save it. Mana burn, heal wave right before the mana burn. But a surround on the Shadowhunter. Can PaTo hold it? Can Hitman break out the Shadowhunter? This could be a huge kill. Greater heal pass pops him out. High level micro from both players. Seriously,
very well done. Purges him out with PaTo, almost getting another surround here. But in the end, nothing falls, and it was a lot of damage and fighting time committed for 2 hero kill attempts, and it didn't go through. That potion passing on the Shadowhunter saved him a lot. And now dust settles, and I guess Hitman is taking control.
Yeah, just a greater heal used, and, you know, I think, what was it? Not a lot died for PaTo, to be fair, but of course it's always Moonwell mana. And the Dryads are coming out. Yeah, like you said, it's just tier 2 mass Dryads, which can work, but you gotta take fights and take an advantage in order for it to work.
Okay, now that you're further outside your base, will this still work? We go hero focus all the way. 50% on the Shadowhunter here, and he's kind of trapped there. No TP. There is a speed scroll. Muddy gets killed right away, and so does the Blade Master. That purge came as a surprise. Staff was ready, but couldn't use it. And that's a second hero kill for Hitman this time.
Yeah, and now I'm really questioning the Demon Hunter choice. It's still on level 1. It still dies. I think there are a lot of heroes that would get a lot more value than this Demon Hunter has so far. I do respect the Mud Golem pickup from Hitman, but not actually getting a slow off with it, I don't think, unless it was abolished right away. But nice to see Muddy make an appearance, Neil.
Second time today, Kevin brought him in. All the fan favorite, well, Hitman not really, not the fan favorite of all. 50-50 affair, I would say. Some love him, some hate him, you know.
Well, we're definitely going to love this shop creep from PaTo at least. Going to be able to get the heal scroll, which is very important for Mass Strides. You don't have the rejuve, of course, you don't have the heal spray from the potential alchemist. So these heal scroll, this invuln, going to be nice to save that Demon Hunter in the future. But the Blade Master's level 3, and Hitman is also tier 3 now with the Bloodlust coming in.
You know what that means? Rah, 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 making a second appearance here at DreamHack. I mean, okay, we're on the way. Demolishers, burning oil, the Hitman strat again.
Interesting, very interesting. We're going to see it twice in a row, and just mass Dryads against Demolishers, but just one Demolisher, and it could be caught off if PaTo looks for it in transition. But for now, he's going to Town Portal. One lore going to go down, but there's already 48 supply Dryads, and maybe the remainder gold could be spent on potions. The wards have to be focused down, though, and the mana burns have to come in.
Fast, real fast, against a lot also. Okay, let's see what he can do. Rebuilds the lore and tries to get some potions here. Oh, it needs that first one immediately. The second one is on 20-second cooldown. And Hitman is just cutting through the Night Elf army. Oh my god, hot knife through butter.
That didn't look like a Demon Hunter, but it died like a Dryad, but it's in the altar like a Demon Hunter. The Blade Master maybe going to be focused down, though, as that PaTo's way back in. Perfect speed scroll from Hitman. South behind, a lot of Dryads committing in to their deaths to try to kill that Blade Master, but there's no salves left for Hitman, so he's actually going to have to back away. He cannot heal up that Blade Master, and PaTo holds on.
I guess it's still fine for now, as he was just waiting for his tier 3 stuff. For Liquid Fire, for the Kodo Aura maybe, for an Orb or something. This was not a push really designed to kill him off, I believe. Another kill. But alright, 43 supply only. Hitman not maxed out either. It's not this overwhelming orc mass, so maybe that's still fightable.
Perhaps, yeah, and the Shadow Hunter was low on mana, but now using Clarity, so the Demon Hunter is going to come back in. Was there staff, by the way, for that Demon Hunter again? I wonder, did PaTo use it on a Dryad or something? He should definitely be saving that staff for the Demon Hunter exclusively on the Keeper, because twice it's died now, and twice it could have been saved by that staff. And, this is experience you're missing out on when the Demon Hunter's dead. It's not just, you lose the mana burn or whatever. You're losing the potential for level 3, but at least level 2 now on the Demon Hunter. Finally, and there's a couple of creep camps left over.
That evasion will already help him a lot against that hero focus. If you miss one crit, then it's basically like a small potion or something. The Blade Master's in again with Bloodlust. Oh boy. Is he looking for trouble? He was exposed, I guess, when Windwalk ran out.
One Dryad could go down, but a mana burn would leave the Blade Master with another Windwalk, but he wants the big cheese. He wants the Renegade Wizard in the item. He's going to get both. Ring of Protection +4, but mana burn. Okay, Windwalk was used. There's Dust. Accidentally Fat Fingers the invuln, but not the end of the world. But the staff saves the blade yet again.
Pretty much perfect execution once more. Shadow Hunter at level 4, approaching the turtles in the bottom right. We get more upgrades soon, I believe. 500 gold for Hitman. Still banking this time, not going up to the greedy 70, willing to end this game. And map is almost empty. What does PaTo do then? How does he get back with still level 2, close to 3 Demon Hunter only?
Yeah, at least he's going to get level 3, but he's still on tier 2. And, typically in this matchup, you cannot win a tech advantage down as the Night Elf. That is not something that's very easy to do, especially with the Keeper only pretty much, a archer. 28 to 34 damage, +2 with the circlet, but that's all the Keeper's going to manage to do.
Yeah.
So Hitman's definitely taking a huge advantage in this game.
Okay, now he's breaking upkeep, willing to end this. PaTo also 51 supply. Todd will not like this, but he's using all the resources, getting the next Moonwell in. But I'm not too sure if he's ready for this fight. Bloodlusted Orc army can of course be dispelled for a bit. Dryad mana looks real good.
Perhaps Wisps. That's something honestly we've been missing actually both games. The expansion coming up has similar timing to last as well, when PaTo is maybe being pressured a little bit, but I think pulling the boys, pulling the Wisps, and Hitman's pulling the boys. Actually 3 peons to the north, the Demon Hunter yet again. This time it's got to be saved, but there's no town portal for the Keeper. Invuln actually used.
Whoa. Staff was ready. Maybe the purges are just too quick that you can't really use it. It's a lot of purge raining down on the second hero of PaTo. Blade Master and Tinker are doing a good job blocking this retreat, so that's a lot of free damage on the Dryads.
Yeah, nice positioning there. One Shaman cut out of position, but 2 Dryads perhaps going to fall because of it. The Demon Hunter is now back. Still has that heal scroll as well. Double heal scroll, in fact. One Demolisher cut out of position, but another one in the back is putting in pretty good damage. Heal wave used, and there's a couple more of those as well as Crystal Ball, which is might be able to scout that expansion that's coming up, and PaTo gonna back away. 44 supply against 63. Heal scroll used, but it looks like this is all Hitman.
This is all Hitman indeed. The Brazilian party probably postponed to the lower bracket, at least for Group A, as Mist might have a chance against Cruncher later. But oh boy, Hitman was here to prove a point, and he was all over this game. Sick performance as expected. Basically no